New York, the Empire State, the gateway to America. This is the complete story of how it all began. Long before the skyscrapers, this land belonged to native nations. The Lenape people lived on the island we now call Manhattan. To the north stood the mighty Haudenosaunee, the Iroquois Confederacy. 5 nations united under one of history's oldest democracies. In 1609, an English explorer sailed into the harbor. His name was Henry Hudson, working for the Dutch. He sailed up the great river that now bears his name. The Dutch saw opportunity in this rich new land. In 1624, they founded a colony called New Netherland. A year later, they built a town on the tip of Manhattan. They called it New Amsterdam. Legend says they bought the whole island for a handful of goods. The little port grew into a busy trading hub, but the Dutch would not hold it for long. In 1664, English warships sailed into the harbor. The Dutch surrendered without firing a shot. The English renamed the city after the Duke of York. And so, New York was born. Under English rule, the colony flourished and grew. By the 1700s, New York was one of the busiest ports in America. Then came the fight for independence. When the Revolution began, New York was a crucial prize. In 1776, the British seized the city after fierce battles. They held New York for the entire war. General George Washington was forced to retreat. But in the end, the Americans triumphed. In 1783, Washington marched back into a free New York. The city celebrated as the last British ships sailed away. New York became the 11th state in 1788, and for a brief time, it was the nation's capital. In 1789, Washington was sworn in as the first president here. He took the oath on a balcony in Lower Manhattan. New York was now at the center of the new nation. Then came an idea that would change everything. In 1825, the Erie Canal was completed. It connected the Atlantic Ocean to the Great Lakes. Goods could now flow from the heartland to the sea. New York City exploded into America's greatest port. Money and people poured in from around the world. By the mid-1800s, immigrants arrived by the millions. They came seeking a better life in America. In 1886, a gift from France rose in the harbor. The Statue of Liberty lifted her torch to the world. For millions, she was the first sight of their new home. In 1892, Ellis Island opened its doors. Over 12 million immigrants passed through it. They built the city, and the city built America. New York became a place of skyscrapers and dreams. On Wall Street, fortunes were made and lost. The city became the financial capital of the world. In the 1920s, a cultural explosion shook Harlem. Black artists, writers, and musicians changed America forever. This was the Harlem Renaissance. Jazz poured out of the clubs and into history. Then in 1929, the stock market crashed. The Great Depression gripped the nation. Yet even then, New York reached for the sky. In 1931, the Empire State Building was completed. For decades, it was the tallest building on Earth. Through war and hardship, the city never stopped. After World War II, New York stood at the center of the world. In 1952, the United Nations made the city its home. Leaders from every nation now gathered on its shores. New York became the true capital of the modern world. But the city would also face its darkest day. On September 11, 2001, tragedy struck. The Twin Towers fell, and the world watched in horror. Nearly 3,000 lives were lost. But New York did what it always does. It rose again. From the ashes, a new tower climbed into the sky. Today, New York City is home to over 8 million people, from over 150 different countries. It is a city of art, money, power, and endless reinvention. From a Dutch trading post to the capital of the world, New York has always been where America meets the future. And the city that never sleeps is still just getting started. Follow for the complete history of every American state.